yeah. The battle of the retirees. Yo, we're here and no one lagged out.
Dude, it is a miracle, and it's also a miracle that we are starting this TvT on Blackbird of all maps. Here, in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player coming out from the land of originally Guadalajara, but currently in Seoul, South Korea. He is going to be representing his team Storm Gaming. We have the DreamHack Latin America champion, SpeCial.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Pakistani Terran. He is blue, representing himself. It is old mate Raza.
Let's go.
Ooh, let us go indeed. From one TvT to the other, and oh boy, SpeCial is quite an opponent.
He absolutely is. I have to wonder who chose Blackburn as their first map. Well, honestly, I have to imagine it's SpeCial. He has so many builds in his bag of tricks.
He really does, and he doesn't even need to go into them. He could just play standard here, and he is the favorite. You know, he is one of the best foreigners out there. But Raza is still a very solid opponent. If you remember, I think a month ago, he had an insane run where he was able to take down Max Pax and Nice.
Yeah, Nice, of course, the current DreamHack Taiwan runner-up, and Max Pax having his own breakout runs here in a lot of these tournaments. It was in ESL Americas, if I'm not wrong, when Razor Blade really popped off. So yeah, I didn't really get to mention it, but it is kind of why it's so good to see him in ESL Asia up against some players who are familiar, such as Parting and such as well, Parting's a big name to me, but others who really do not stay up late enough or wake up early enough to play in ESL Americas.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing for me about the ESL Open Cups is we get to see players from other regions face off against each other. That for me, that's the best part, right? When you see these foreigners show up and try to take down these Koreans, you know, like even some Europeans like Art and Bratok would show up for ESL Asia. Some Southeast Asian or Oceanic players, you know, Starduck, you know, he would sign up to quite a lot of these as well in the past. So it's always great to see them kind of like test their until he started playing some goddamn arcade. For nada, Starduck. But it's great to see them like test their skill and test their mettle, you know.
It really is. It's almost like a teaser for DreamHack season finals, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's so rare nowadays that we get to see all of these cross-regional plays.
Speaking of, before we get too far into today's broadcast, mate, could you move your mic closer to your mouth? You sound like you're leaning back a little bit.
Yes.
Oh.
I did start leaning back because I was gonna, because I was like, do I feel like being loud? And I was like, nah, but then I forgot to lean back into my mic, so.
Oh, good. Beautiful. Now we can hear you.
Interesting for Raza. He's taking a completely defensive posture here. No Reapers at all. Got a couple of Marines guarding the Reaper ramps, and they just swap the add-ons to get Vikings out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
I say defensive as he does not have a natural base up at all.
You can say
push out.
You can say defensive. What this is he didn't scout at all. He didn't care what his opponent's doing. He's just risking it all and just pushing out across the map with his entire army. SpeCial will scout this.
Oof. He will. Such a fortunate timing here on that medevac. He is able to land in the load. Only a single tank right now for SpeCial, but it has been completely untouched. Can't really say the same about the bio. Razorblader will make it out with a single tank.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, there are SCVs here to help repair and keep that tank alive. Meanwhile, SpeCial, he wants to try and snipe it, but a little bit too late. Doesn't get it. Oh, can he though?
Oh, targets it, but he targets the Viking by mistake.
Ay.
As Raza's continuing to push through. He knows he doesn't have to worry too much about the sky, so he is just landing a couple of Vikings. One Viking still in the air, just right some vision. SpeCial, he's getting ready.
Yeah, but mate, losing that cyclone was huge. You saw SpeCial turn around as soon as that happened. Like these SCVs were meant to be a little bit of a buffer, but no longer are they. Meanwhile, we have a lot of Vikings here. At any moment, they could try and land on top of this tank. I feel like he probably should, to be honest. Like there's not much here. Oh, actually, there's a lot of Marines.
They're really, yeah, there are quite a couple of Marines over there. But Raza, he just does not want to give up his aerial lead just yet. He knows he can continue to slowly leapfrog forward as long as he has these Vikings in the sky.
Oh, that he can. Meanwhile, that tank count is getting even higher. That means SpeCial's defensive position is that much stronger here. Razorblade is going to try and break this with some Liberators, but at the same time, the Banshee dives in.
And there's nothing to defend. A single Viking will pop out. Razorblade has to send the Vikings a long way around back home. SpeCial, to say there's a worker league going on there is a bit of an understatement. That's 41 SCVs plus mules versus 17 plus less mules.
Yeah, 7 SCV kills was huge there for that one Banshee. It more than paid for itself. And Razorblade, if he wasn't all in before, like I know he's trying to transition, but he needs to make something happen here.
It really does. You cannot out-macro your opponent from this position. You have to equalize the damage. And SpeCial, he's just waiting for Raza to make that move.
Yeah.
Come at me. Look at how many Marines I've got. Look at my tank count. I don't even have to siege him up yet.
Oh my god, he's going for it. He's going for it. He pulls the boys.
Yeah, he does. Only a single tank right now. Not quite able to get on top of that. SpeCial, he is more than fine with losing these SCVs. He will completely wipe out the army. GG is called. And he still maintained that SCV lead right towards the end. Mein Gott, or Dios mío, should I say. Juanito.
Yeah, GG. Juanito does take the first game there. Razorblade, again, just went for a very aggressive all-in style, and things were looking pretty good for him to begin with, but then, like, he was really slowed down there, couldn't get into the natural, and God, that Banshee.
I really like the idea of that. Aggression, especially on Blackburn, where it doesn't take too long to get across the map, can really catch your opponent with their pants down. Especially if they were playing a little bit greedy like Nazin was. But SpeCial, bit of a different player here, and he was that was definitely a moment where things are looking pretty shaky for him. But once he recognized, okay, I shouldn't go down this ramp. I should just wait a little bit, get my army up and running, use my Banshee to force Raza all in. Took it.
Exactly. It's exactly what he did, and with that, SpeCial is up 1-0 in this series, and now we are diving straight into game number 2.
Indeed, we are. This time going to be on Lightshade, which may or may not bring back some memories for Raza.
I see. Do you think he's going to be the one to proxy Rax?
You know what? Might as well. It's like Venom, the symbiote. Or I guess not Venom in this case. It's like Mega Man. He beat Nazin, so now he has the abilities of Nazin. But, speaking of which, we are now continuing our series on Lightshade LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the red Terran player coming down from the land of originally Guadalajara, but now Seoul, South Korea, and he is also looking for other foreign players to do that as well.
True.
He is representing Sidestorm Gaming. We have SpeCial.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Pakistani Terran player. Oh my god, it's happening again. Already getting proxied 2 series in a row on Lightshade. Ay, it's the blue Terran. It is Raza.
Something about Lightshade, man. Raza, what do you do to these other Terran players on Lightshade that they all just want to proxy you here?
Exactly, feels bad, man. Meanwhile, especially he's taking the rest of his gases here. Are we gonna see a proxy factory, or is it gonna be at home? That's what I'm wondering.
It's got to be at home, right? I mean, I can't imagine SpeCial will be too committed to this proxy. Just be okay. Never mind. That's okay. Never mind. That's an immediate tech lab.
Yeah, there we go. I was wondering what the gas was for, and it's gonna be for Marauders, mate.
In my head, I thought for sure it was just gonna be, you know, some proxy reapers coming up, but at the same time, why would you proxy reaper with only a single barracks? Again, concussive shells this time. Bit of an interesting take on proxy marauders here.
Yeah, what's important is that the SCV of Raza did scout. He sees, hey, the Rax is not at home, it is somewhere out on the map, but there's also a factory follow-up, so it's not the most committed proxy, but it's still there. So Raza, he isn't checking around his base as the Marauder is showing up.
It is, it's waiting for an opening. There's a bunker in the back line, but not in the front line. SpeCial delays that for quite some time. Concussive Shells is about to finish up, and with that, he can really start to kite as much as possible. The bunker will, at the very least, get up and running.
God, that it will, thankfully, but Raza did lose 2 SCVs in the process. His Reaper did go across the map, but he wasn't able to find any damage, which is unfortunate, especially because now the CC is being taken. There was an opportunity there for maybe to delay it, but Reaper comes home.
Really has to focus on the defense, especially because Raza is playing with a bit of a ping disadvantage. Can't quite pull off all those fancy micro maneuvers you normally want to as a Terran player with Reapers. Well, SpeCial just looking to break down this wall. Yeah,
the depot is going to go down here. Like, these Marauders are paying for themselves. Sure, they may not be ending the game, but they're putting him in a really nice position.
Actually, supply caps Raza. No. SpeCial not committed by any means. He did the damage he wanted to do, and now he just backs away. Let's get ready for round 2. He already delayed the natural for that long. He's getting his own natural base up and running. He hasn't really lost anything in the okay, so his starport is a little bit later, but still.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest advantage that Raza has, is that because his CC was delayed, the rest of his production wasn't, right? He prioritized that instead. So he's going to have a faster tank, he's going to have a faster Raven as well out of his starport. Sorry, Banshee, by mistake. Yeah.
Or he would if he was able to have the resources to do so. That's really the double-edged sword, isn't it, of delaying your CC to get production up and running. You will get to your tech a lot quicker, but will you have the resources to produce anything?
Yeah, it also didn't help that Raza was actually supply blocked while he was trying to get his Banshee out, because of losing that depot as well. Oh god. And now we gave Naxton a lot of flack for his faster CC, but this is fine from SpeCial, like, as he goes for his own.
Well, yeah, he's definitely very safe back at home, and he even has enough supply to spare to be active on the map and really slow down any counter-aggression Raza might be throwing his way. So it's a lot less of a risk, but still has that massive reward.
Exactly. Like, this, like, transition to a faster TC is so much cleaner here from SpeCial, as you were saying. Like, he just has a lot of army to work with to get away with it, but there's still, like, an opportunity for Raza, you know? Like, he has the supply lead, like, it's now or never for him. Like, there is a window here, but maybe he can catch SpeCial.
He's definitely trying to. He has a very massive army lead as he's not committing too hard to it. Okay. Just wanted to clear out the map vision for SpeCial for the time being.
Yeah, instead he's going for his own third CC, so meeting that greed with greed. I will say that I feel like this is a lot more necessary for Raza, just because of how delayed his natural was. It makes sense that he would go for a third CC like this, right, to catch up. But instead of catching up, it's more like they're, you know, kind of even in that respect. Which means that SpeCial is ahead.
Yeah. It's not so much catching up as much as it is closing a bit of the gap slightly.
Yeah. Oh boy.
SpeCial is still very much ahead.
Yeah, they do scan each other, and Raza confirms the third CC of SpeCial landing on location. Meanwhile, Raza, his own, there we go. Just a little bit behind his opponents, but it's on the way.
as we're gearing up for much more of a standard game. SpeCial looking to be a little bit aggressive here, but again, just trying to see what he can get away with if there's an opening that presents itself.
Exactly, and remember, when it comes to TvT, it's one of those things where sure, you can be down in supply, you can be down in economy, but it's all about tank positioning.
Absolutely is. You can be down in tanks.
Yeah.
As long as you position them better.
Oh no, but Ravens don't care about your positioning.
That they do not, neither do auto turrets. Vikings still in the sky, but what is the buffer here for SpeCial? The Marauders finally coming in to help out, but it's a little too late. SpeCial losing every single one of his tanks, and will Raza commit to the counterattack?
Oh god, I don't know if he should, man. Yeah, exactly. There's a tank here in the shrubbery, in the bushes, and it does force, or it does clean up the army of Raza.
Unfortunate here, the Banshee. No, it almost took out the tank.
Almost.
His life.
Yeah, the tank just barely survives. SpeCial will back off. Meanwhile, Raza also backs off. I was afraid that he was going to commit with 3 tanks and nothing else. He does go back home.
Yeah, Banshee does it, but just waiting for the next opportunity.
Yeah,
SpeCial just coming back, recovering a little, licking his wounds, gearing up for round 3.
Essentially. What I will say is that this Banshee has potential, but there is a spotter deeper here. Raza is forced to back off. I was about to say that, you know, these bases are looking a little bit vulnerable, so maybe you can find some damage, but yeah, it does go back home in the end.
Yeah, not with that low health. It doesn't. SpeCial's actually looking to pick it up.
No,
this is an unnecessary amount of Vikings for one Banshee SpeCial.
Oh god! Banshee does go down, and thankfully there was those racks here, because these Vikings, if they wanted to, they could even get into a mineral line and harass.
They really could. Vikings just completely shred through SCVs, and speaking of Vikings, both players looking to go mech this time.
Yeah, again, Raza wants to slow things down, and SpeCial, he's okay to meet him there as well. Meanwhile, SpeCial is completely out of position as Raza's pushing into the third.
And he's going to be the first player to siege up his tank. SpeCial still has his Raven, though. Not quite enough for a disable, it seems like. He has enough for 1 disable, but that is all he really needs. I mean, Raza doesn't have much of a buffer anymore. Lands right on top of the tanks, completely takes it out, completely wipes out the army. Oof. What do we say about positioning? Good game, well played. Good luck for the upcoming round, says Raza. SpeCial takes that series 2-0. Now he may finally rest.
GG, well played. Congratulations, SpeCial. He does assert his dominance here. Again, that proved to everyone that he is one of the best foreign Terran players out there. One of the best Terrans, period. And Raza, his run has ended. But again, you know, he was able to find some success here, making it past the first round.
He has. And if nothing else, it's just some real good TvT practice for Raza. He was able to try off that aggressive build in Blackburn against somebody of the stature of SpeCial. He's got a lot that he can learn from here if he decides to look at the replays.